Hey, this is Justin. Thank you for downloading and listening to the J&J Talk Show. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen or favor our show on Spotify apps or Facebook. You can also listen to us live on YouTube at the J&J Talk Show. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to this beautiful Thursday morning, wherever you guys are listening to us from, whether that is YouTube, where we're on here on live, or you're streaming us later, or if it's on Facebook when I post this up later on, or Spotify. If you're on the road and you're listening to us on Spotify, we thank you and welcome into the J&J Talk Show studio here. I'm Justin, and I have another week of sports coming up for you again. Today is Thursday, November 11th, 2021, and I just want to give a quick shout out and happy Veterans Day to one and all. Anyone here past time service who's supported and served our nation, happy Veterans Day. I got a lot of stuff coming up to you in this big hour. Let's get underway because we gotta, I mean, this is all nonprofit here. Okay, we don't get paid to talk about you to promote some of these items, but it's the establishment of things that make our studio what it is and how it goes. So let's just get underway. We want to stay humble, stay kind. We want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to StreamYard. Okay. StreamYard here. StreamYard is the studio home of the J&J Talk Show. If you're looking to create your own podcast, YouTube videos, or even looking for your own virtual business meetings and videos, StreamYard is the place to go. Head on over to StreamYard.com to start making your dreams a reality. StreamYard.com there. Also, let's give a quick shout out to Placeit. Create your mock-ups, logos, and videos through Placeit. The J&J Talk Show is proud to be using Placeit to create all of their logos and promotional videos. Placeit is by Envato. Head on over to placeit.net for your free trial. Also, like to give a shout out to Epidemic Sound. Discover world-class artists, composers, and bands. Find your perfect soundtrack and give your social accounts the media. Give your soundtrack. Find your perfect soundtrack and give your social media accounts the music they deserve. Epidemic Sound is licensed music and noise effects link. Check out Epidemic Sound for more information there. Great. I'm already kicking off. Not even 5 minutes into it, and I'm already stumbling over words. That's how early my mornings has gone. Also, let's go ahead and give a quick shout out to Stream Elements, which with one click of a button, easily create and start selling your merchandise through streamelements.com. It's that simple. Stream Elements gives you the platform, not the prevent perfection. Stream Elements gives you the platform with a handful of objects to sell. Simply upload and create what you want to sell, and allow Stream Elements to do the rest. They create your store, they create your own merchandise, and they deliver your merchandise and give you the profit. Stream Elements make merchandise simple to sell. Head on over to streamelements.com for more information. Alrighty. With that being said, we talk about Stream Elements. I want to give a quick shout out because we have a merchandise page and there's a lot of things going on, and the J&J Talk Show has not been able to get ready, has not been able to get much time onto Stream Elements as of right now. So we're hoping that as we become, a little later, we will get new upcoming contents. I know we get come holiday time, but if you're looking for your holiday season perfect gift, what another way to head on over to our shop okay, our store, and buy a t-shirt, a buy a hoodie, buy a blanket. Yeah. Head on over to the J&J Talk Show's merchandise store through Stream Elements. Head on over to merch.streamelements.com/JJ Talk Show. Once again, that's merch.streamelements.com/JJ Talk Show, and wear all your gears up there. Okay. So, wherever you guys are listening to us from, okay, and we thank you. If you're tuning in to Facebook, okay, if because we post this show up after we go, we're live right now. The time of this episode is going live on YouTube. Okay, so if you're over on YouTube at the J&J Talk Show, head on over there, hit subscribe, press that notification button, and like, share, subscribe each and every video. Leave a comment down. I want to hear what you think of our show. Okay. If you are also tuning in from Facebook at the JJ Talk Show, make sure you follow the page. That's where you're going to find our main social media connection platform. If you want to interact with me, myself, and I on Facebook, I directly run the Facebook account of this show. Okay. The posts, the comments, the statements, I'll interact with you. So if you want to interact with me personally, Justin, head on over to Facebook. If you want to, we also got Instagram, we got TikTok, we also got Twitter. Yeah, Trey's been working on such an amazing job getting all those other platforms up and running. And I know I'm not big about Instagram. I'm not big about Twitter. I have the accounts. I hardly use them. If you want to interact with, let's say, Trey, head on over to Instagram at the J&J Talk Show. Head on over to Twitter at the J&J Talk Show. And go ahead and get all that stuff going. TikTok. I'll tell you about this. I have never made, when I first started this production, I'm actually very nervous. I can't listen to myself. I don't know if it's the same for any other vloggers or any other podcast, guys. I can't listen to myself on the radio. I feel like I got a terrible voice listening to myself talk. But when I sit here and I really, I don't feel like I don't have much of a face. But then I sit here and I was like, you know what? Trey made a TikTok and starts promoting our stuff on TikTok. And now Jacob Hunter's doing it too. And we're starting to get, people to view and people to view. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to make a TikTok video. I've had people come, hey, why don't you come out, make a TikTok. Let us know, get on the air. And I made a TikTok video earlier this week. And a matter of fact, it was back on Tuesday on NCAA, basketball. College basketball is back. Normally it starts after Thanksgiving. Well, you know what? It starts now to get the prelims going. And I made a TikTok and I was like, dude, I've never made this. I'm terrible at this. I just kind of went through a handful of games that I was following that day. 173 views in 2 days. And I'm like, I'm TikTok famous. No, no. But we appreciate everyone who's viewing it. Make sure you hit that like button also on TikTok. Interact with us. Leave us a comment also and let us know what you think of them. And maybe that's the first of many. I'm slowly stepping outside my comfort zone when it comes down to these videos and whatnot. I know talking over here, I can still sometimes get starstruck. I know a couple weeks ago, I was doing a football episode and then someone tuned in. I'm like, I'm only talking to one person. Great, lovely. And I kind of froze for a moment, and that stuff happens. So as I become more comfortable, as I create better in news feeds and content, things start looking up and rising. Anyways, we got a big NFL weekend here. A lot of questions to kind of go about. I want to readdress some things you know, last week was the NFL trade deadline. That made some big splashes with a couple of trades that you don't typically see. I know we talked a little bit about football coming up. I want to re-illustrate a little bit about what's coming up this week, games and highlights. A couple of big questions coming in as well. We want to know about Odell Beckham Jr. status. We'll give you our take on that. Um, who's the I think we're also on the search to the Detroit Lions and who's going to pick up the first victory. I mean, I don't want to be that team to lose to the Lions first time this season. So that is going to take place. We also got um maybe the AFC power rankings. So we're going to kind of deep more in depth on everything that's going on in the world of sports. So I got a lot going on for you today. We're going to step aside, okay? And when we come back, we'll go ahead and get right into it. Okay. Be sure if you're listening to us after the program, like I said, like, share, subscribe. If you're on the road, we hopefully everyone's having a safe day wherever you guys are at. But we'll take a break, and when we come back, we will go ahead and start getting everything else going. So just stay tuned. We'll be right back with you guys. You guys are listening to the Week 10's NFL preview right here on the J and J Talk Show. Welcome back here on the J and J Talk Show. I'm Justin. Thank you for tuning in where you guys are listening us from, whether it's on the road or on one of our social media platforms. Thank you. Okay, I got Trey that's going to probably be out. He'll be joining us on Sunday, depending how things go. Justin, I know his work schedule's been compact and busy like crazy, so hopefully we could get him on our show this Sunday, but that's up in the air right now. All right, let's get right down into the NFL and everything that's going on on the NFL side. I got some other promotions going on. We'll disclose that stuff going on. We got also our weekly picks. Yes, we picked them out. We'll go over that a little later on in our program. Last week there was a big controversy on Aaron Rodgers, and he receives COVID-19. And this is going to be kind of my last final viewpoint of this situation, as Aaron Rodgers is expected to make his return back again this Sunday as the Packers get ready to play on against the Chiefs. And listen. Here's my final thoughts and takes. I don't care if you're vaccinated or not. I don't think people care if Aaron Rodgers is vaccinated or not. Now, would we say, or would we encourage you as NFL players to be vaccinated? Yeah, I believe statistics and the ratings right now for NFL players is over 85%, from my understanding. Of every team has about an 85% rate of players that are vaccinated. What threw people off was when he got COVID-19. And it wasn't so much for he got COVID-19. It was people quickly went back to the preseason in the interview that he had, where he claimed when he was asked, were you vaccinated? He said, yeah, I was immunized. And I think a lot of people interpreted that as, yes, I was vaccinated. And a lot of people interpret that statement the wrong way. Immunized means something else, and it does not mean vaccinated. We sit here and we hear the news last week, and I wasn't quick to jump on it, but it is a big news because he lies. I think, and then he goes out and then he goes on this rant over this weekend, and about social media doing this, social media doing that, making sure that everything, he's crossing his T's, dotting his I's. And listen, Joe Rogan, this, he threw that name out there, and you know what? And the thing is I really don't care. The fact of the matter is, because it's even been shown that if you have been vaccinated, you could still get COVID-19. It's all about your antibodies. What people were making the big deal of him lying, but there's a bigger issue at fact. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers got vaccinated or not. I say, listen, I got vaccinated for my own reasons. I know friends and family who's gotten vaccinated for their own reasons. I already know, through my life, I think my entire family, except for me, has been tested positive for COVID. I worked at a hospital interacting with COVID patients throughout the entire majority of the pandemic. I recently left that company earlier this year. Now, I'm assuming I've never been tested positive, but I can only assume at one point I did encounter COVID-19. I've had my mother who was encountered COVID-19 after getting vaccinated. So it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not. If you're going to get COVID-19, you get COVID-19. The bigger issue that I point out at the end of this day, at the end of the situation, was if you weren't vaccinated, it's the concept of the NFL putting protocols in place to people that weren't vaccinated So if you weren't vaccinated, you had to wear a mask on the field around your team. You had to wear a mask in interviews, indoors. And we didn't see that for the first half of the season with Aaron Rodgers. And that's what gets to me. If if you want to get getting my opinion on this, I hear some other stories, but here's my opinion. Here's my tale of the take here. I'm not upset that Aaron Rodgers didn't get vaccinated. I'm not upset that he used verbiage to get around that question. I'm upset because Aaron Rodgers knew, Green Bay Packers knew, and the NFL knew that Aaron Rodgers were not vaccinated. And they allowed him to proceed the first half of the year without wearing a mask that is mandated by the NFL for unvaccinated players on the sidelines, in interviews, and in team meetings. Now, I can't tell you what he did or didn't do behind closed doors. Through reports, claim that he did wear a mask in the film, sessions, indoors. But I can't confirm that because I'm not there. And I haven't seen enough evidence besides a report that leaked out from an insider from Green Bay saying that he did. But I'm telling you, from what I've seen the first 8 weeks of the season, on Aaron Rodgers on the sidelines, Aaron Rodgers in press conferences, I have not yet to see him wear a mask in any of those situations in the public eye of the television. Now, if I'm wrong, please share, that link to me so I can see it. But if the Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay and NFL knew about that and they allowed that to happen, I think I said this back on Sunday. You jeopardize, you put you put your teammates at risk. You put the opponent's teammates at risk. You put the staff members, the media production that's on the field at risk. You put your fans and other fans at risk. That's what, for me, gets to me. And that's when I sit here and I tell you, Aaron Rodgers, you're careless. Okay. I mean, I have a lot of respect for what Aaron Rodgers has done. It's not going to change the way I think about Aaron Rodgers in the football sense. He's a great quarterback. He's a great athlete. He's taken on some big, shoes filling in Green Bay since Brett Favre left. He's made himself a Hall of Famer or future Hall of Famer down the road. But this, for me, is a act of selfishness to sit here and to knowingly not be vaccinated, but then not follow what the NFL guidelines set in place for that. That's what gets to me. Now, reports say that he should be playing this Sunday against Seattle. Listen, I mean, we know the protocol. As long as he follows protocol, and he tests negative 2 consecutive times, he's granted a play. I'm okay with that. I don't want to hold him back from season. Now, let me be honest with you here while we're on this. Do I think so? NFL was reported that NFL only slapped him with a $300,000 fine for violating NFL protocols. Is that the only thing that I think he should have received? No. If you really want to talk about that, I really believe that Aaron Rodgers should have had. Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay knew about this for sure. I think that both Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers not only should receive a fine of a minimum $500,000, Green Bay should be a lot more, but Aaron Rodgers should at least be suspended 1 to 2 games, in my opinion. From there, not only you're also punishing the Packers because not only Aaron Rodgers has to sit longer, but then Aaron Rodgers is going to also have to. The Green Bay Packers are going to have to go 2 weeks without Aaron Rodgers. So I am very, I'm a little disappointed in what the punishment is. I feel like it should be addressed more, but that's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Talking about disappointments, I'm disappointed in Odell Beckham Jr. I am upset that Odell Beckham Jr. will go out of the way. And here's my final take on this one. And this is not going to be the last time we talk about him this season. My biggest thing on Odell Beckham Jr. is the fact that this all starts because your father sticks up for you, which is great. But why don't you go out to social media? Why don't you go out to Baker Mayfield? Why don't you go out to the Cleveland Browns? Listen, I'm an asset to this team. Please start treating me like one. I'm not getting the hands on the ball as much as I should. But then, as we see Odell's OBJ's father make a video, publish the video of all the times that OBJ was open and did not OBJ was open and did not throw him the ball. And on top of that, then OBJ makes a big fuss and hits after it. And he is now released by the Browns. Obviously, we saw back on Sunday that didn't affect the Browns. As a matter of fact, it felt like they were more synced together when they beat the Bengals than they ever been. Now, I also, now we start taking a look at it. It's like, okay, well, where will Odell Beckham Jr. land? I know there was, just this spitball talks about maybe the Rams, the Chiefs, the Saints. And I hear a rumor. Me and Trey was joking about this on Sunday. I'm like, when I get things right, it's the once and very few. But when I get things accurate, I feel so good about myself. Because I sat there and I said, what happens? Just throw Odell Beckham Jr. with the Packers. Well, I mean, I'm looking at news reports, and it looks like the Packers are looking possibly to throw him an offer down the road. I feel like whatever team, listen, Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be is going to have a big headache with him. And here's my take. I'm going to reiterate this because I said this last week, earlier this week. If you're the Packers, or if you're any team that looks to pick up the Odell Beckham Jr., one, you have to realize, or if you're okay, let's back up. Odell, you have to realize that for the last 8 weeks, 31 other quarterbacks and a handful of receivers have already been sinking each other throughout the season. When you come into a new organization, it's not going to necessarily change right away in your favor. You're going to have to familiarize with the schemes and plays that they run. You're going to have to also work with the quarterback, and you have to build yourself, which is going to take time. And then I have to warn, hey, listen, if you are the Green Bay Packers and you want to pick up this headache, pick up this headache. I'm okay with that. I'm fine. I don't necessarily think that the Rams should take on this headache. But if the Rams think that they can handle it, Cleveland, they thought that they could handle it and it didn't work out. So if you're a team, be prepared to handle on this headache. It's not just about the playing time. It's about everything that comes with them. He's a package deal. When you sign OBJ, you don't just sign the player and the talent that he is, you sign everyone else. Also, when you talk about OBJ, listen, Odell Beckham, I'm sorry. If you go to another team, you go to a team that looks to be contending also, be patient. You're not going to be a talented star. Now, if you could, you could walk back into New York and play for the Giants and maybe be a star in New York because you're the only player in New York that on the offense that could really do anything. This is one thing that I don't quite understand. I mean, what do you think when you are the top player of your team? Yeah, you're the star because no one else is better than you. Everyone looks up to you. So what do when you go to another team that has similar players like you? You have to be able to share that spotlight. The Browns run the ball. They got Nick Chubb to run the ball. They got other wide receivers to throw the ball to. But you have to be able to learn that okay, I got to be better than them. That means every ball that's thrown to me, I got to catch. I got to run my routes. And I never think of this as a negative thing. AJ Green played this so perfectly in Cincinnati. AJ Green always got double teamed no matter what game they were playing. And he had to get double teamed, but this led up to the run game being available because that's one less man. And this led up to some of the other receivers and tight ends to be open. So, if you're OBJ and you get put in that position, I will think about that. I will think about how, hey, if I'm getting blocked, I'm being utilized. And NFL, I mean, listen, I get it. Players want to worry about the game, want to be in the spotlight. Well, it's still a team effort. And you're contributing by taking a man out of the 11 man on the field on the defense away from the action. All right, we're going to step away. When we come back, I got a little bit more going on. I want to talk about the Lions. I want to talk about the power team of the AFC. What team do you look to dominate the AFC? NFC, there's a couple of big names, but the NFC looks like there's a couple of big names. AFC doesn't look that way. All right. And then we'll get into our football picks. You're listening to Week 10's preview right here on the J&J Talk Show.
The ocean, And I can't touch the floor, so full of emotion. I can't keep anymore. Are we out of time? Will we be swallowed whole? Don't give up on us now.
Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to the J&J Talk Show. Thank you for listening. We're officially on the bottom half of this program here in this one impactful hour. At this time, I also like to give a quick shout out and thanks to and a quick promotion to TC's Barbecue. TC Barbecue is back for local Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky residents only. TC Barbecue is the home of the slow smoked, mouth-watering, and made to perfection barbecue whole and half rack beef and bait ribs and pork baby back ribs are available on November 24th. Yes, that's correct. Day before Thanksgiving. If you're interested in enjoying some smoking ribs this Thanksgiving, I know I am. Reach out to Travis Chappelle on Facebook or check out his Instagram on Chappelle Travis and order now. And on over to the social media play pages. Like I said, limited time order only. Order now. I'm going to make my order tomorrow. Got to pick up only. You got to be able to pick it up. So if you're looking, contact Travis Chappelle on Facebook or check out his Instagram page on Chappelle Travis. Great ribs going on. So we're back in it. We got another 30 minutes. We got some NFL picks to pick them as well at the end of our program. A couple other promotions going on. Like to thank you wherever you guys are tuning in from, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Spotify. Where you listen to us on Spotify here. All right. So before we get into that, I kind of want to just really quickly touch base here. Okay. So I'm just gonna pull this up here because I'm a little bit behind on the show. Normally I got this all ready, but this week is a little differently. I have who is here's the thing. I've been going into the NCAA. I want to make this quick here. I want to cut to another break because when we come back, we got a lot more things to go about. But okay, so I'm looking at the standings real quick as halfway through, and I don't want to be that person to buy into. Oh well, something's going on, right? Well, I don't want to be the person to buy in. We're halfway through the season, and let's start making predictions. And okay, well, if as of week 9, here's what the playoff status looks. We're 9 games in. We got another 9 games in the NFL. I do start looking at some of the leagues and the standings that we have here For example, in the NFC, you got the Cowboys with a solid 3.5 games lead over the rest of the division. The Packers looks like they're still running away with this division over there on the NFC North. Um, the Buccaneers, the Saints. It looks like all teams are still up in the air for this one, but Buccaneers and Saints lead that. Then the Cardinals lead over there, but you have the Rams that have that significant lead over the Seahawks and 49ers. Take a look at the AFC, and you got the Bills and the Patriots who find the way to come back and contend. You got the Ravens, Steelers. I mean, that North Division looks like another great battle. The Titans are slowly separating from the South with all the other teams. The Raiders, and it looks like there's an actual football game on the West Coast. Kind of identical to what the NFC is. But when you take a look at the NFC, there's some ideal teams. Buccaneers, you look at Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. That's always a dominant. You look like that dominant team. Arizona's been dominating all the season. Although they lost against the Packers a couple weeks ago, they still look like they haven't skipped a beat. Especially considering what they're out without Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers. They look like another team that's obviously making their statement as far as that, and then the Cowboys. So there's enough teams that are like, okay, who can you see being in the Super Bowl? And those are just a handful of those teams. When you look at the favorite team of the AFC, right? The AFC, the AFC teams. I mean, when you told me back on week 1, I would have told you, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I know that I would have. Here's my top 3. Would have been Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs. Then it would be the Baltimore Ravens, and then it would be the Buffalo Bills, who would be favorite contendings heading into the Super Bowl. Chargers lead right now, but you have the Raiders, Chiefs, and Broncos right behind them. The Bills lead right now, but you have the Patriots who's come back and lead also. The Ravens are currently leading, but Pittsburgh's finding a way to get back into the conversation. Cleveland's finding a way to get back into the conversation, and the Bengals are trying to hold on. Now, you look at any top team that really surprises you, and the only team I see that's really surprising me this season is not even, for me, considered. I don't even see a Super Bowl opportunity, and that's the Tennessee Titans. They've kind of been understatused or underlooked this season when it comes down to everything that's going on for them. They sit at 7-2. They are 3 games above their division. It looks like, we still got some solid football playing to go. But you think about it, they're 2 games away being over 500, and they look at it. They look like they're a really good favorite. But I don't know. People just don't see the Titans quite yet as one of those teams. So what I like to take a look at is, I feel like the Super Bowl has a little bit to do with the image of every franchise. Like, if the image doesn't fit on the Titans, it's going to be more difficult to view them as a Super Bowl team. The Ravens, the Bills, Bills, if they play any way they played last week, they're not even going to be in consideration. The Chiefs I don't think are going to get there. I think they're just struggling too much. That means what? The Chargers and Raiders get back into the postseason. Great. AFC North is still open to contending. So what I'm trying to say is that you sit here on the NFC side, and the first top names, dominating names that right now have a very good contingency spot. You have the Cowboys who have been dominating, the Buccaneers, the Packers, and the Cardinals. Let's not forget about the Rams. Realistically, on the AFC, you're supposed to be looking at the Chiefs, but they're not playing well. You're supposed to be looking at the Bills, but they're not playing well. And you're supposed to be looking at the Ravens, but they're not playing well either. And although the standings say one thing, they mean something different. Here's the thing. The only team coming out of the AFC right now that really is playing solid football are the Tennessee Titans. But are they a Super Bowl favorite right now as we head into halfway through the season? So I'm not looking into, okay, what if the season ended today and what the playoffs look like? No, I'm just kind of giving you a brief idea. AFC is not right now a favorite to go into the Super Bowl through their performances. I feel like AFC is really struggling tremendously. NFC, no problem. You got 8, 9 teams all looking solid. But when it comes down to the AFC, league, they're kind of playing very sloppy. Don't get me wrong, you got players in first place, but it's like some teams should be playing a lot better. We'll get into that. So that's just something to keep an eye out as we head into this weekend, as we head into the second half of the NFL season and all that good stuff. So, all right. So we got that underway. We're going to get us down to right down to the NFL picks coming up here next. Don't stay tuned. You're listening to the J&J Talk Show right here. You're listening to Week 10 preview right here on the J&J Talk Show. Welcome on back, everyone, to a final segment of the J&J Talk Show here. I got a lot going on here in the last 10 minutes, so let's get right down into business here. First, want to give a quick shout out. Listen, local community guidelines here, wherever you guys are listening from. I got a great promotion going on for you guys for local Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati people. We got coming up also to this on November 27th. Okay, it's just been confirmed. Tickets just gone on sale yesterday. NWF, a local wrestling promotion around town here, is going to have a special event on November 27th, 2021. It's a Saturday. Gates open up at 6:30 p.m. Where NWF and the Monster Abyss will be inducted to the NWF Hall of Fame November 27, 2000 and I get the wrong date on there. 2021 Monster Abyss, and coming up this Sunday on the J&J Talk Show. Next Sunday, we will go ahead and talk a little bit about the Monster Abyss and remembering his career as he gets inducted into the NWF Hall of Fame. That's going to be taking place on in Covington, Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, Southern Cincinnati. Head on over to nwfwrestling.com for more information. Get your tickets there and don't miss out. I know it's going to be a big event. We're going to be there right there, and we'll be covering some of it on our show afterwards. Also, as of tomorrow, November 12th, 2021, the WrestleMania 38 tickets go on sale. Get your tickets now. It's going to be at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. Don't want to miss that out as well. So check out your WrestleMania tickets. Go on sale tomorrow. If you're looking at SeatGeek, where Ticketmaster, wherever you get your tickets, go get your WrestleMania tickets. All right, we're going to get underway here as well. As like always, let's get right into business, and we talk about as we bring up here as the NFL week number 10 here on the NFL. We kick off with some Thursday night football action tonight. Thursday night, the picks are back in as the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins set the due square away. If you're looking at the updated schedule standings here, I currently have 89 wins on this season. Justin has 79 wins, and Trey has 43. So we've all picked them today. We'll go ahead and reveal right now. We got Ravens hosting the Ravens over in Miami, taking on the Dolphins tonight at 8:20 Eastern Standard Time, available on Fox or the NFL Network. Both Trey and Justin selected the Baltimore Ravens. You know what? I got to go with the Ravens too. As much as I want to see the Ravens lose this division, it ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen this week at least. So, Ravens over the Dolphins for Thursday night football action. We continue here around the league. We got Atlanta over in Dallas. And you know what? I don't know what the status is of Dallas and Dak Prescott. But you know what? I know that they didn't play well last week. But I think that Dallas is just too good of a team to let the Falcons overcome them. Trey has picked Atlanta. Justin's picked Dallas. I have also picked Dallas. Jacksonville's over in Indianapolis. Does Trevor Lawrence pick up his third victory on the season? I just don't think quite yet. Carson Wentz will come in and do the action right there as we hit on the way. Cleveland Browns taking on New England Patriots. I know Justin has chosen the Patriots. Trey here. Let's see what he's selected. Can't even find the team that he selected here. I'm looking for the Patriots and Browns game. He hasn't selected it. If you know what? You don't select it, you don't win it. I don't see his selection here, so he doesn't pick out a team on this one. Oh, well. What a loss. Oh. Anyways, Justin picked out the New England Patriots, and I will also go. I'm actually going to go with the Cleveland Browns. They look very solid without Odell Beckham Jr. I know New England has been kind of popped up a little bit, but I just don't see that happening. Buffalo and New York also another exciting game going on. We have Buffalo. Both Trey and Justin pick Buffalo. You know what? I know they've been playing bad, but you do have to go with Buffalo in this one because it's Buffalo. I know that they didn't have a great performance against Jacksonville last week. I figure that they're coming to New York and having a better streak there. Detroit over in Pittsburgh. The question is who's going to be the first team to lose, or Detroit? I don't think Pittsburgh's going to come in and lose. It's at Heinz Stadium. Both Trey and Justin has picked the Steelers, so was I. So we will go with that one as well. Pittsburgh across the board. New Orleans over in Tennessee. This one's going to be a good throwdown. Tennessee is that underestimated team in the AFC. New Orleans is dealing without Jameis Winston throughout the season. So what type of quarterback are they going to have this week? We look into you know what? I think Tennessee's going to pick up that victory. So does Trey, and so does Justin. Think so as well. Trey and Justin also got Tampa Bay over Washington. I will go ahead and pick Tampa Bay as well to sit over Washington there. Carolina, Arizona. They don't have their Sam Darnold as a quarterback here in Carolina. Arizona just continues to dominate. I go Arizona. Minnesota in Los Angeles. Chargers. I'm talking about the Chargers. We got Trey picking the Vikings, Justin picking the Chargers. And you know what? The Chargers have been playing well. I'll give them. They're at SoFi Stadium, so I'll give them the victory over there. Philadelphia over in Denver. Both teams are picking Denver. And I'm going to be honest with you. This is where I kind of go astray. I don't know if Denver has what it takes to pick up a victory this weekend. Maybe they do, but I know the Eagles are playing bad, but I got a little bit of faith in them. So that's going to be my underdog game here on this one. Philadelphia is going to beat Denver. We also got epic Sunday throwdown here as Russell Wilson set to return back to action to meet Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Seattle takes on the Packers in Green Bay. You know, and everyone picks Seattle. I'm going Green Bay on this one. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how Russell Wilson just took the pins out of his hand. He's back in action. I don't know if he's being rushed to it too quickly. I think that's going to take a couple weeks to get back in the swing of things. So I'm going Green Bay as Justin and Trey go Seattle. Then we get right into Sunday Night Football, a epic Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Everyone's choosing the Raiders. And you know what? I got to do the same thing too. I just don't know. It's primetime football. I just don't know if Kansas City is all there. They don't look like to be all there. I digress with how they're performing. And then last but not least, we got Monday Night Football coming into play. The Rams over in San Francisco. And right across the board, the 49ers do not look like they have what it takes to win the game on Monday. I think the Rams will come in. I mean, listen, the Rams just lost against a great Titans team last Sunday night. If they want to look into a postseason opportunity, and a postseason chance to win, they have to beat the 49ers. They cannot lose to the 49ers there. So that is your NFL picks week number 10 on this season. If you miss anything else, just stop and rewind it back to everything that's going on. Don't miss a single action. We will be back tomorrow with a What Do You Need to Know for the Weekend. We got college football going on, NFL tonight, college basketball as well on tonight as well. And a lot more going on as we make our way. Well, listen, we thank you for tuning in as part of the crew, Justin. I'm Justin, and on behalf of the J&J Talk Show, we thank you for tuning in, and you guys have a wonderful day.